All right, yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to the Double Down podcast. This is the podcast where we like to double down on our opinions.
Yes.
Do you like to double down on yours? I hope so. We have another special guest. I'm excited about this guest. I'm excited about all guests, but I'm excited about this guest.
Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, I'm going to hit a round of applause anyway. We've got the one and only Lin Mei Talks. I'm going to go with the handle.
Hey.
Because that's probably what people know you for. Very vocal on Twitter, very vocal on Instagram when she is on Instagram. Then she might ghost and then come back. And then from what I've seen, when she comes back, people go, hey, you're back again. And then she might just go again. I want to come to that straight off the bat, man. Like, for me, we've got mutual friends and I've always seen you at different events and stuff like that. And I've seen you on social media because you're quite vocal and to an extent controversial. But probably because the truth...
Controversial.
Because the truth in 2000 and...
I want to get rid of that though.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Like,
I want to get rid of that whole... You're controversial because you happen to think a little bit differently.
Yes, yeah. but that's what I was going to say.
Why do I, alone, on an island on my ones, think differently? Or is it that multiple people think like me but don't have the balls to say it?
Yeah, too scared.
So then, therefore, if everyone spoke what they thought, would I still be controversial?
That's like when people. That's like when people go, "You're weird," and then you go, and then people go, "Well, yeah, I want to be weird. Why would I want to be like everyone else?" Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a bad thing to be separate from the pack, but it just depends on what you're saying. That's the only thing. Now, this is what I would say about what you say online. It divides opinion. Is that a fair statement to make?
In terms of
when I just look at your comments and stuff like that, it divides opinion. And
I think all comments should divide opinion.
I was going to say,
it's scary. I think if anyone says anything and everybody agrees, that's more of a scary thing because it shows that people just follow anything.
But what if it's the truth? Because the truth can't divide.
What's
the definition of the truth?
That Black Lives Matter. So then when you got people going, all lives matter, well, obviously... all lives matter. But when we're talking about, and people having to break it down all the time, listen, Black lives, and then have people having to break down why Black lives matter. That is the truth. You can't get upset about that.
Black lives matter is actually not the truth.
Ooh.
No, it isn't. I wholeheartedly believe and support the rhetoric Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
When you look around the world, it clearly has to be said because to institutions, to governments, it looks as though it doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
We just have to look around to see that. However, there's people also in this world that actually think Black lives doesn't matter. And it's the same goes for, okay, if I was to tell you now, okay, there's 3 million approximately Uyghur Muslims in China that have been imprisoned.
Yep.
There's Chinese people that, are practicing slave labor. That's how we use our phone. Do Chinese lives matter to you? And if they do, why do you use the things that you use, knowing that via slave labor is how we're using our phones?
You've gone on a deep one. But
I'm just giving you different perspectives.
Right.
In terms of, again, I support the rhetoric Black Lives Matter. I think it needs to be out there. But to some people, if a person said to me, Black lives doesn't necessarily matter to me. I live in a village outside of Doncaster. I never see a black person. The only time I see the black person is maybe in a movie, violent movie, or, drill music, or whatever the case may be. Football. I don't like football. I don't like drill. I don't like entertainment. I don't care about the newsreader who's black.
Yep.
So Black lives doesn't impact me. That doesn't matter to me.
But then my argument would be, in some way, shape or form, even those people outside in those places, in some way, shape or form, take in black culture. That could be via television. That could be via sports. There's black athletes on the field. It
doesn't mean they embrace it. They might be aware of it.
So if you support Doncaster and you have a black player and he could be a defender or a striker and he scores for your team and he brings you joy, then doesn't his life matter to you because he does something that in turn gives you joy?
I agree, but I don't think to everyone
as a separate entity. But they don't see black footballers as a black life. They see them as a footballer.
But that is the problem, because they are a black life. This is not a robot running around on the field. This is a human being that has thoughts and feelings, and the reason he can put in that performance for you is because those thoughts and feelings he's had throughout his life has led him to where he is on this pitch in order to play for your team.
True, but then if they were to replace him with an equally good white player, similar skills, would they then fight to get him back on the basis of him being black?
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. There's always going to be...
But then that's why
one team that doesn't have at least one black player.
But that's why a person possibly may say all lives matter, because I'm not going to fight for a black life to come back and play that position when a white guy is doing a good enough job. So therefore, that's why they may think, again, I'm trying to rationalize why a person may say all lives matter, because you could put a Greek person, you could put Pakistani person, as long as they get it in the goal. I don't give a crap who that person is. So why would I then, above everything else, say a black life matters?
When a lot of people say it, I don't feel it's from a place of venom. I don't feel like they're saying it to segregate and be like, I don't care about black people, it should be all lives. I do think it's a lot of it is innocent, but they're just being so narrow-minded and not seeing the bigger picture. Like we're saying, that it's black people's lives that currently and systematically have been they're at risk. They've been marginalized. We don't have an equal opportunity. So I think it's just at this moment in time, it's the black lives that are on the line, that are dying. So at the moment, in this moment in time, it's the black lives that matter. Not to say all lives, obviously all lives do matter, whether you're black, white, Asian, whether you're Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, like all lives do matter. But at this moment in time, it's black people that are getting their heads, they're getting killed from their head being kneeled on for 8 minutes. It's black people that are getting shot by the police. It's black people that are being still being stabbed and killed by numerous amount of white people. So, you know, at this moment in time, it's the black lives that matter. And I strongly believe that.
We wasn't supposed to come in with the Black Lives Matter, but we just ended up there. But it's cool. It's all right to hear those views and everything. I want to get straight in with you, because that's how I started. I said you're a controversial individual. And that can be taken in any way, which shape or form. Like you said, you know, controversy just purely because you say the things that maybe a lot of people think but are too scared to say. And I totally agree with that. One thing I'm interested in, though, is that it seems to me that you don't really post that much on social media, but you have a bit of a following. You've garnered a following. How comes you haven't taken that further and tried to, like, maybe build it up? Because obviously, you know, Zizi's your friend. I know Zizi as well. She's gone with that. She's kind of shifted it more to entertainment, in my opinion, now, and gone down kind of maybe the...
As opposed to what?
As opposed to before, when she was, I think, just purely speaking on societal issues and things like that. I feel like now it's maybe garnered more to music and musicians and entertainers and stuff. And that's cool. Like, it's helped build her. But I feel like you could have also went down that route as well. How comes you chose not to? Or did you choose not to? I don't know.
I think maybe I see myself as a part of, if you want to call it the culture or the community. And I think the reason why, obviously she's not here to defend herself, but Z, or input, but Z knows that, well, she enjoys the culture. She enjoys music. Yep. She will speak on societal issues. She does, yeah. But also, you have to think from a business point of view as well. And we can see, looking at her videos, she interviewed a girl who owns a business, a black-owned business.
Yep.
I think it's been a week now. It's got 70k views.
Yeah.
Whereas all the videos that people choose to drag her about have in excess of over 150 to 350,000 views. Yeah. It's a business. She wants to do that as a career.
Yeah.
So the figures are not adding up with righteousness, unfortunately. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's true, though.
And when I speak on this whole righteousness thing, I'm torn, because as much as I say, okay, you have to only be positive, positivity does not sell.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why she's gone down
the truth does, though. In the long term.
But you like this word, the truth, but it's very difficult to encapsulate the truth. What is the truth? Your hair is curly. He might say it's wavy. Which is the truth? Yeah.
It's curly. But this is a whole other thing, right?
It's true, though. What is the truth?
No, but what I'm saying is the truth is like...
The truth can be manipulated to be the truth.
No, but what I mean is, like, see, when people see someone that speaks the truth, you can kind of tell. All right, let's take Tupac, for example, right? Just as an example. The reason Changes, the song, is still being played at Black Lives Matter protests today is because the lyrics within that song resonate. There's truth to those lyrics.
Yeah, but so many things resonate.
Hold on. Yeah, but what I'm saying is a Young Thug song, right, is not going to be played in 20 years' time at something like that. Because
it means he's not speaking the truth. He might be saying, I'm popping money and doing this. Yeah, that's his truth.
I get that. Yeah. But what I mean is, let's find a better way to explain it then, all right? Authenticity, speaking on real societal matters and things of that nature. let's change the word truth. You're right. The word truth probably isn't the right word.
Even authentic's probably the wrong word.
No.
Do you know why?
That's the wrong word.
If all I do is take drugs and party, then that's authentic to me.
But do you think they do that though?
I think a lot of these people do that.
I think they glamorize it, to be honest, and then they get other people to do it. But that's a whole nother conversation anyway. Yeah. My whole point is, right, if you stay real to yourself and speak on real things, then the longevity you have and the things you do in the long run stand you in good stead. So you could talk about things that are hype and hot now, but in the long run, that's not going to put you in good stead. Whereas if you're talking about things that, you know, people can really relate to, things that never are not for a period of time. So struggles in communities, do you get what I'm saying? Beef with the police. These things have gone on since the dawn of time. Popping mollies and stuff like that might be cool now. Do you see what I'm saying? But these issues are always going to be around. So if J. Cole or Kendrick, and we spoke about them a couple of weeks ago, if they're talking on this, that's why they're going to be put in that light and revered and still relevant 10, 15 years from now. If you're speaking on these things, all right, it might get 60, 70k views now, but because you're speaking on some real shit. It sounds like you're
trying to recruit me, like you're trying to encourage me to do something. The thing with
stay righteous.
Going back.
Stay righteous, man.
No, don't about all this righteous thing. What is righteous? But the thing is, with me, I think I do have this, like I was saying to you earlier, I've got this, like, I don't want to say internal battle, it's a bit strong, but I actually have worked really hard on my career, which is nothing to do with social media. Yeah, there's bits that might get, you know, I spoke about property ownership the other day, that's something to do with my career. Yeah. So maybe if it was hand in hand with that, but at the same time, I just don't like how social media is going. So yeah, I'll make these appearances.
How is it going?
I just think it's like the whole cancel culture, the whole enjoyment of seeing someone either fall or the rise and demise of someone. Yeah. Obviously, that's what I'm seeing, and maybe I need to fit into a different pocket. I don't know.
No, everyone's seeing it.
But to me, it's like, and now that even has been monetized. So you saying the truth or the righteousness or whatever, I think because of how social media is going, it's encouraging people to be negative because they've realized it makes money. So now you have people that, if you want to say are controversial, it's fake controversial because in your home or with your friends and family, you don't really think that.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't want to get pushed along with that. So when I've had people that don't know me for Adam, you just say things because, you know, to be difficult, to be a contrarian, to be the devil's advocate. But I say no, like, example would be conservatism. I'm a conservative. I see myself as a conservative. Yeah. Not necessarily. No. But when you think of conservatism, I try to separate the two of the party and the ideals of conservatism. Yes, I did vote for the Conservative Party. Do I think they're good now? No, I don't. Yeah. Do I think that I think they're far removed from society. However, the reason why people say to me, I can't stand conservatives, for me, it's not good enough if it helps me economically. Yeah. Because on one hand, the hood or the community or the culture is rapping, singing, get your bag, be an entrepreneur, be a boss, don't work for no one. That's all capitalism. Yeah, that's what the conservatives promote. Yeah. But on the other hand, let election day come, out comes the red tulip. We're socialists. We're Labour. Sharing for
Jeremy
all.
Corbyn.
That's not even us. Yeah. Let Jeremy Corbyn tell all of these rappers and all of these entrepreneurs, oh no, what we're going to start doing is extreme socialism / communism, which means tax. Everybody must share, no matter what work ethic you put in. Yeah. We must all share. Yeah. What are you going to tell you to go suck your mum? Share what? I just worked 40 hours. Why am I going to get the same £50 that my man who put in 5 hours put?
Well, I think, do you know what I think to that? But I think our community is torn in the sense of a lot of people are torn because there's same rappers that are talking about money, getting money. I'm not going to say all of them, but some of them will keep their family in the council estate, etc., etc. And I mean, I'm not trying to say it's as easy as you can just, as soon as you're getting the bag, you can just take your whole family out because you have to get like serious money to be able to do that. But I think a lot of these people, I think they're torn. A part of them is like, oh shit, capitalism and getting the money, but they understand that their community and their people are still in the house, are still in the social housing situation. They still rely on the state. So I think they want to go Labour, but like you said, maybe their morals are more conservative, but they understand their community needs a Labour government, if that makes sense.
But what? Okay, in terms of when I say like, I'm a conservative. I'm still quite a centrist.
Yeah.
So I believe in a system that does help the people who genuinely need it. But what I don't agree with is a system that keeps them dependent on that same system.
Exactly.
Because what happens is the system that you're now dependent on can control you easily. And that's why I go back to the gentrification thing. The reason why we cry about gentrification is because we've been so reliant. I used to be...
Hold on, the gentrification thing was said off camera. So do you want to clarify what you meant?
Well, initially I said to you guys that maybe pro-gentrification is a bit strong, but I don't mind gentrification, because if I own my own house or my family own their own house or their own business, gentrification will improve those businesses and those houses. It will increase the value of those things. Yeah. When an area goes down, the value of my house goes down, I lose my equity. And even if, I know people say, oh, it's easy for you to say, or your family, or whatever the case may be, but even if, let's say, for example, I don't have anything, my aspiration is to have as much as possible. Yeah. So I'm not going to then vote or have a belief system that is in my current state.
But not everyone has those aspirations, though. This is the thing. Like, some people, like, all right, this is my thing, right? I get we live in a capitalist society, right? And I understand that if you live in this capitalist society, you either play that game of capitalism, right? Or you end up broke and poor. I get that. But some people are just born into this society and don't actually want to be a part of the game of capitalism, unfortunately.
What
and
does that mean? What does that mean?
What do you mean, what does that mean?
And that sounds mad.
For you to say they don't want to be a part of a capitalist society.
So what I'm saying is, in a capitalist society, it's like, go make money, build it up. This is how you have the best life. If you don't do that, then you're going to end up pouring in the hood, right? Some people want money, but they don't want to play that game. They want to kind of share the wealth, get money, okay, just take care of their people. They don't want to be this person that has to climb through the ladder and step on people, because that's what it feels like in a capitalist society. Like what you said is, oh, I got to think about my property going down, but fuck all my neighbors that live around me. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm thinking about my household. Now, I'm not saying that, communism or socialism is the ideal way to go forward. Of course, that's not going to work. But
why wouldn't it work? Huh? Why wouldn't communism work?
Because it's been tried and tested, and it just doesn't work. But mainly it's because if you look at the way, and this is a whole deep thing, but if you look at the way society's run, it starts from the top. Who runs things? The central banks. The central banks in this country run things. The central banks are the people that lend the money to the government. Then the government lend money to everyone else, and then they take that money back through tax, and that's how the government stays afloat. But it all goes back to the central banks, these people. Though we owe them loads and loads of money. Not us, the government owe them money, right? So they have the plan. They set out the plan that they want for society. And the plan is that they keep a lot of the money, these corporations and stuff that they fund, because we've seen it. During the pandemic, somehow unemployment's at an all-time high, but the stock markets are having some of the best months ever. How does that make sense? That's because central banks are injecting cash injections into the stock market. And we've come away from reality now. Like, these money used to be backed by things. Now, this is a whole nother discussion, but this is what I'm saying. Because they want society to be like that, communism's never going to work, because they set out that the rich get richer, the poor get poor, and then the middle class in between is slowly getting wiped away.
No, that's not why communism wouldn't work. Communism wouldn't work because it's not intrinsically natural to us.
Explain. Elaborate.
So communism, us as humans, we're competitive. So take away this central bank, the ideology of the central bank and all the rest of it. Yeah. If you go to the depths of Africa, the depths of Asia, where tribalism happened, all tribes didn't just sit in harmony like, there's loads of trees that we can take mangoes from and we're all going to share together. It's like, hang on, we can get those mangoes and more for our people in our tribe. That, by definition, is capitalism. Just because there's no central bank, that's capitalism. Yeah. So I'm not saying, I agree with you, it's out of control now to the point of you have Google, you have all these people that are not paying taxes. And I strongly disagree with that. Yeah. But at the same time, if you don't have certain large corporations or big businesses, I say, why do we always criticize them? If you do the maths and see how much people they employ, how much business they generate, then I'm not saying it's a justification for them not paying taxes, but there needs to be a capitalist society with injection of socialism. Okay. Extreme communism, it's not within our psyche to just be like, let's everybody, no matter what race, culture, area, let's all hold hands. We're not born like that. We're competitive creatures.
And if we're not
animals, but look at animal.
Yeah.
There's so many times when you can see a carcass where they could evenly share the carcass. But us as humans, and also in animals is we don't know when we're going to get the next carcass. So we ain't got time to share that carcass. Yeah. We have to get what we can and give it to our immediate people.
Yeah, but then if we keep with that ideology and because I've even in my lifetime, right, I've seen it evolve even more and more. I remember when I used to, in the 90s when I was growing up, I used to actually speak to my neighbours a lot. Like now, I feel like no one speaks to anyone anymore. Like the sense of community. Do you?
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I don't. I've moved around here. I don't know none of my neighbours. None of my neighbours have reached out to me. I had people move up doors. Didn't even introduce themselves. Have you reached out to anyone? I reached out to these that moved upstairs before, but then they just weren't on it. They weren't on speaking. This is just my observation. I could be completely wrong, but this is just through my lens, right? I feel like that.
You think that's because of capitalism, right?
I just think the idea of community is dying, and I do think to an extent it is because everyone's just like go, do, get this, like. And the element of humanity.
That's the London bubble. You know, that's the London bubble.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's the London bubble.
It is worse in London.
And you know why that is? I don't think that's based on, maybe it's tied to it, but I think that we've entered a disposable society, not necessarily extreme. It's the core reason is capitalism, because we've always had capitalism.
Yeah.
From the moment a man saw an empty shop and said, I want to create a business, that's capitalism. Where the government cannot say you must sell that bread for 50p. No, based on my supply chain, based on the quality of my artisan bread, I will actually want to sell it for £2. That's capitalism, because I can choose. I've chose the ingredients. We don't want the government telling us it has to be 50p. Yeah, but I use buckwheat. I don't use normal white
Which
flour.
they do, the government do.
I want to do this
to a degree, but really and truly, we can still
There's not
push our
much
levies. We can
regulation,
decide the price of our products to a degree. It's not such a blanket. All bread 50p.
Exactly.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
But then they'll do cheeky things like introduce sugar tax and then like make you have to kind of leverage your products and then change the price and get around it and stuff.
Yeah,
like
but there
that.
is far too much sugar in the products anyway. But going back to the society where I think is a disposable society, it's simple things as we've become obsessed with the new things when the old things still work, and that goes back into relationships as well. So
what, are you team Brexit now?
Brexit? Nah.
Okay.
Nah, definitely
I'm just
not.
asking.
I'm team Brexit,
because all of this plays into that as well.
Brexit.
This capitalist society and taking back control, and it all plays into that.
But then
I know you support that from an economic standpoint.
What, Brexit?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but do you know what? A lot of it is principles. It may be idealistic fantasy, but to me, it's principles. It's like, okay, Great Britain or United Kingdom as an empire, don't want to use, provocative, but raped the rest of the world in terms of the colonies. Yeah. And now the colonies are being, as people, pushed further apart because loads of white European people are coming here. So people say voting Brexit, and I've said this loads of times, voting Brexit is racist. Actually, supporting Brexit is more racist because the people that are coming here as the quota are white Europeans.
Yeah.
How can it be racist? If the majority,
you saying that's what played into the Windrush as well?
I'm not anti-Polish people. I'm not anti all the. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Polish plumber's probably a bit cheaper, but. By and large, if we're going to go with this whole race rhetoric based on Brexit, if they have a quota of people that can come in every year, and European freedom of movement can come willy-nilly, do you think African, Asian, Caribbean applications are going to be pushed in front of people that have freedom of movement? They're not.
No, and that's what I was saying. That's what we've seen with with the Windrush now, haven't we? Those people, because this is what I don't understand, right? I feel like a lot of people have come in and it has pushed certain people out and to the back of the queue. We can see that within society. But why do you think then that people are looking at Brexit through such a bad lens? Why do you think that's happening in society?
Because just like with anything that you can politicize, you've got to look at the United Kingdom and probably a lot of countries. People are not politically savvy, and the majority of people are not that intelligent. Again, how do you measure intelligence? Yeah. But by and large, we go off headlines. Oh my days, look at the headline. Yeah. That's my belief system now. I haven't, no logic, no reasoning, no research, no stats, no nothing. So I feel when people said, again, like Nigel Farage, take back control, Britain, mate, like I'm British, so that includes me, a brown person. Do you get what I'm saying? Like all the people up in the north, like I said, I think people as Londoners, we're stuck in this little bubble.
Yeah, we are.
The rest, black people, that very small percentage. We might influence things through our culture in a massive way, but we're still only a tiny percentage. So when you go to those villages outside of Derby, outside of Middlesbrough, all these places, they're like, oh yes, England, Brexit. Brexit
but
comes
I do
from
think
Britain.
we were stronger in the EU though, definitely.
Do you know what? Hold on, wait. Okay,
that's a complete difference.
We're going on a tangent here. We've got
Let me ask your initial question. So my initial question, your initial question to me was, okay, why do I not take my opinions
there we go. We went on, I don't know where we went.
serious level?
Yeah.
Okay, like I said, because of my career outside, and
but you still do it anyway, though.
I can.
So why don't you just go in with it? If you're
going to help me, Craig.
Sorry, go on.
Are you going to help me?
What am I gonna? Well, we're here. Here's a platform. This is one platform.
No, the truth
might not be the biggest, but it's a platform.
The truth is, the reason why I come back to social media is because I feel, whether it's people of color or people, minority groups, people in urban settings, the hood, I just want them to hear ideas like mine. I'd rather them hear my ideas and why I got to that level of thinking, as opposed to concentrating on me, Lin Mei. So that's why I've been very hesitant to build a brand, because even like now it's like, do you want to share your social blah blah? I'd rather share my opinions and hope that someone else can take that opinion and research for themselves, as opposed to brand that opinion as Lin Mei's opinion.
But the thing is, I think you have built that brand. Lin Mei Talks is a brand, you just haven't grown it. That's my whole point. It's been built, it's there, you've created it, people know about it.
I'm doing a post-grad, it's very hard.
You haven't grown it, that's all I'm saying. Like, do you want to grow it? Do you want to water it, or do you want it to just...
For the last 2 years, I've been working 7 days a week and I'm doing a postgrad. So in short, for me to be able...
In short, you got excuses. All right, say no more. Say no more then, that's up to you.
I'll take that one, hands up.
Time.
No, it is time. But there is time. It just depends what you want to put into.
I just think you have to be hungry. You have to be hungry. And I think if there was an opportunity where it just sat comfortably, then fair enough. But I'm obviously, like you said, I'm close with Zizi. I see what she goes through. I see the hours she puts in. And to be honest, again, I don't know her finances like that, but financially, I'm at a position in my life where money matters to me. So it's all well and good. If I was 22, like willing to be all famous without any money, fair enough, but
you got
I need money.
I hear you. Do you know what? Let's move on, because we're speaking about money and something amazing's happening today. We're recording this and filming this on a Saturday, and it is in fact June the 27th, Black Pound Day. A massive thing. Shout out to Swiss. Did Swiss create it?
Yeah.
Okay, so shout out to Swiss. If you don't know who Swiss is, then you've been under a rock. But some of you youngers listening to this and watching this, Swiss was a part of So Solid crew. He has one of the best, if not the best, rap song from the UK, in my opinion, of all time, in Cry. The original one.
Everyone loves that song.
I said in my opinion. In my opinion. And not the one with the girl singing on it. That was trash.
That one was better, actually.
Bruh, the original one.
See, there's no such thing as truth.
No, these are opinions. There are a difference between truth. The truth is, this is a microphone. That's the truth.
Of all time.
UK song of all time. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Shout.
But it takes me back to a time. It reminds me when I had my Nokia 6230 and I had the MP3 on it and I was banging out in the playground.
A few people have said that.
But
top 10 maybe, but not.
What's your number one?
Go on, what's your number one?
I don't know my number one, but I know a few songs that are better than that though. There's Skinny Man, Cancel State of Mind's better than that.
I don't even know that song.
No, but these are what I'm saying. These are all opinions. I don't want to go into this. Anyway, we could be on this debate for ages.
I think it's excellent. I know that this is something very close to Swiss's heart. It comes from a good place. But I will say it's sad. It's sad that we have to actually release or try and market Black Pound Day to encourage us to shop with black businesses.
It is sad. It is sad, but we should just understand that it's the reality. And
why is it reality? Why is it reality?
And we can't start blaming white people for this.
No, I'm not going to blame anyone.
I'm not saying you are, but I'm trying to say, because I've seen a lot of the rhetoric about, it's like that is something we obviously is systematic. So maybe they have had a part to play in that, but we need to look at ourselves.
100%.
As to why we're not supporting other black businesses.
But what I'm saying is we can look at it as sad, which is like the whole situation, of course, is sad that it's come to this and we have to do this. But we can choose to look at it as, all right, actually, we're being proactive now. Let's be happy about this.
100%.
We're actually putting this in place and doing it.
And that's why I said all what I said. The only reason why I say that is in terms of like, again, I like to look at all reasons and logic around certain things, and it's like you don't, again, I'm not comparing black people. Even when I say black people, there's so many different types of black people,
true.
so that in itself is so confusing. But you know, when it comes to the Jewish community or the Asian community, they're raised to just do it.
Why is that though?
Do you
know why that is? Do you know
because
why?
Because they move as a clique, that's why.
Why don't black people move as a clique when it comes to business? In your opinion?
I personally, again, it goes back to the whole initially when a lot of Caribbean people came here in the 40s and the 50s. There were some before, but in the 40s and 50s, and a large amount of Africans, specifically Nigerians, came here in the 80s. Yeah. I think initially that was the thought process, but somehow we just get sucked into entertainment.
But how though? Because like, why doesn't that happen to Asians, you know, that might come here, like Indians maybe specifically, or you know, Pakistani people that come here and, you know, for one, there's many jobs they start, but they might start an off license, which we see a lot of them do, or, you know, a post office or a chicken shop. Like they just know how to build a business.
The reason why is
when they come here.
The reason why is attached to so many different factors. So when it comes to Asian communities, first of all, they didn't experience the same issues, but they experienced a lot of issues. Yeah. But what they have is gel. Now, what gels them together is their religion, their language, and their emphasis on family unity. And however you want to dress it up, we're all over the place, catch flights, not feelings. Why would I settle down? Why would I do this? Why would I do that? But that's the core. If you go inside of a majority of an Asian household, there's a structure of how you do things. Literally, you'll go to university or you'll start working with your father from an early age. Even the Turkish community do this.
That's dead.
You'll start with... Why is it dead?
Because why do you have to live life as a structure? Life is.
There you go.
Yeah, but you don't build anything without structure.
No. But you don't have to live life by a structure. So you can have some structure in your life and a plan.
It may be dead.
Because I never live by a structure and I'm doing okay.
So you think so?
I like how you said that, but how you said that is a very capitalist mindset. I'm doing okay. So the whole issue, but the whole issue of the community. You're saying we're losing community, but they're not losing their community.
And
reason being is that structure.
And also, someone I know you look up to massively, Jay-Z. Do you really think he's not going to tell his children, look, you can either come and work with me and get involved in the businesses I'm working with, or you're going to have to go to school and get a good education and go. So don't you think he's going to tell his kids, just go do what you want to do?
No, of course he's not going to tell his kids to go and do what he wants to do. But you got to look at it as well.
He's going to have structure.
But you got to look at it as well. Like, let me give you a Jay-Z song, for example, right? Now, he's got that song with Rick Ross, Fuck With Me, You Know I Got It. Have you heard that? Right? Now, at the beginning, I don't know who is speaking, but there's a person speaking at the beginning, and he basically says...
I think it's Barry Bonds or something.
And he says, you know, when we're wearing gold and diamonds and jewelry, don't look down on us, right? Because this is in our blood. Like, we were kings, we were pharaohs, we used to wear these things, right? So what I'm saying is, because this is going more before what you were saying just now.
This is entertainment though, by the way. But anyway, carry on.
No, but that person wasn't saying it as a form of entertainment. I don't think. I think he genuinely believes that, because listen.
How could this
rappers? Hold on. Can I say something? Some rappers, we look at it as just entertainment, but some rappers are actually giving us their actual thoughts and actually trying to put gems and their beliefs in their music. And I think Jay-Z's one of those people.
You just rubbish the whole argument that when hip hop says hip hop or drill, whatever, has extreme negativity, but it's just a bit of entertainment. So this is the issue again with music. What is it? First of all, you're saying this is their belief. But it's entertainment.
No.
Which one is it?
Hold on, I'm going to tell you. It depends on the individual. So this is what I'm trying to say. With Jay-Z...
But how do they release a statement to let you know whether this is an opinion or entertainment?
But if you've been listening to someone for 30 years, we're not talking about your average...
I think Jay-Z's smart enough to separate the entertainment from what he does in the business environment.
Do you see Jay-Z with any jewels now? Like loads of jewels?
Yeah, he still wears jewels.
Loads.
Not like how he did when he was younger, but he still wears jewels. What do you mean? Just the other day he was wearing a massive chain. This is Jay-Z, bro. If you look at him at the Rock Nation branch, I think a year ago he had a big chain on. He's still giving out Rockefeller chains to everyone that he co-signs.
But Jay-Z also said, I did this so you guys didn't have to. But we're stuck in a cycle of still having to do the same old
When he
story.
said that, he was talking about moving keys. That's what he was talking about.
Okay. It's all lumped together as the culture.
No, but that's not the whole thing. What I'm trying to say to you is, right, you said before, drill artists and all of these different artists. Now, not every artist you can take as gospel is what they're doing, but there's some artists, they've got a track record. You can kind of look at what they've done, the messages they've been giving out throughout their music throughout a period of time, and go, all right, this person's actually been giving gems. I've looked at Jay-Z. Jay-Z's been giving us gems the whole time. Have we chosen to take them or not?
Let's go back to your initial point.
Yeah,
but just going on what you just said.
Yeah.
You think, let's say that the average 16-year-old black boy in a council estate, mother is hard up on cash, there's not much in the fridge, right?
Yeah.
You think he has the time to study gems versus entertainment from all his favourite rappers? Do you think he's got that cognitive...
He might not have it, but the time is available. The time is available. He might not want to do it, but the time is available.
Agenda, is it?
What do you mean?
As in, like, it's not going to be behind the agenda.
Yeah, but
for him to study, I wonder if this is a gem or entertainment. I need to be careful with this because I don't want to take
but then that's what we need to change.
Gems.
But then that's what we need to change. This is what I'm saying.
But structure, going back to structure.
Okay,
you said it's dead.
Structure.
Now, to me, that's worrying. The reason why I say it's worrying is because I understand it's important for.
Hold on, let's clarify. I didn't say structure is dead. I said living your life by a structure is dead.
Can you tell me the difference?
Well, like I just said, me personally, I'm a spontaneous individual, innit? I don't live by structures.
You can't say me personally. We're talking about the community.
I can't talk for everyone, though. I can't talk for everyone how they live. I can only talk about how I live.
Okay, let's say you're in a think tank.
Yeah.
And you've basically said, okay, let's talk about Black Pound Day. You've asked me, why do I think the black community doesn't mirror the Asian community or the Jewish community? I'm not the Jewish community, I'm not the Asian community, I'm not the black community.
Yeah.
But you've asked me. So I can't say me. We're looking at this retrospectively.
Okay.
So I'm asking you retrospectively, not what you have experienced. You tell me then, in terms of structure, what is the difference between structure and living your life by a structure?
All right, let's be very clear about what you mean by structure then.
Where you have a methodology in terms of this is where I want to get to and this is the process I need to do to get there.
That's a plan.
But it's a structured lifestyle.
That's a plan.
Okay, so what's the structure?
That's what we're confusing here. That's what we're confusing.
I could be wrong. Correct me. What's the structure?
I'm looking at structure when you like saying, so we've both got a plot of land. You might just think, I'm just going to freestyle this house and then create something. Whereas the person with structure is saying, do you know what? I'm going to get an architect. I'm going to actually plan everything I'm doing step by step.
That's a plan, yeah.
What's the structure?
I'm with a plan. I'm with a plan.
Okay, what's the structure?
This is where we've crossed wires, right? When you was talking about when you go into a household, you said there's a structure. They have to go like this. They have to go to uni. They have to do things in this way, shape or form. For me, I wouldn't want to do it like that. If my child comes out, right, and my child decides, I have a plan for my child. You're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. I wouldn't do that. I would say, all right, what are you interested in? What's your passions, right? All right, I'm going to sit down, give you education.
At what age though?
Huh?
At what age?
I don't know, whatever age it happens to be. Like, I don't know, a teenager when they're old enough.
So 13.
13. All right, so at 13, what year are they in 13? Year...
They're like year 8.
Yeah. No. Let's go a bit older. Let's go like year 10.
But they want to talk about this at 13.
We're doing hypotheticals now. You're just giving me the situation.
You just said you would not tell your child they have to do this. So your child brings to you...
My child doesn't have to go university.
Okay.
My child does not have to go university.
Forget that.
In fact, university is a con to an extent. But
forget that. I disagree. But that's another discussion.
Right, I've got a degree and I owe money for this degree, but it hasn't helped me in any way, shape or form in my life.
So where do we go from here?
But it only helps a certain type of individual that really needs that degree. But for the majority of people that go, they get bumped.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
But we'll go back to...
I've learned in life it's who you know, not what you know.
Okay.
But not all jobs though.
No, of course not all jobs. I just said the majority of jobs. If you're a doctor, you have to go. If you're a lawyer, you have to go. But how many people out here... There's more people that aren't doctors and lawyers and need those specific degrees. That's because you're only
looking at a degree or uni as this is your piece of paper with how you've been educated. If I come from Tiverton or Edgecott in Tottenham and I managed to get into, I don't know, Oxford, obviously I'm being extreme, but it's possible. I managed to go to Oxford or Cambridge. The people that I can network with there are never going to be the people in the hood. So I haven't just gone to uni because, this is the lesson plan and this is my degree. I've gone and I'm thinking there, which is how a lot of parents, especially Asian parents, teach their children. Okay, have you met with, I heard that the consulate or the politician, the sons go there, find out the best way of see if he can hook you up.
Yeah.
We're not teaching our children about networking like you said, it's who you know. Why do we wait until we're in our mid-30s? Networking, I didn't realise that would help me. Now we're here
But networking doesn't only exist in those places.
Of course, but it's an addition. I know people that have massive businesses and they met the person at that uni that they never would have met in the hood.
And you're talking about Oxford and those things. Okay, only a select few goes to those. But then what about, Middlesex or all these other universities that aren't top universities? Hold on, right? And then now we're expecting kids to pay $9,000 a year to go there. So what's that? 27 grand, then maintenance loans on top of it, because the majority of poor people that go to these, their parents can't just give them money to live on when they go to university. And those maintenance loans, I think, tally up to another 27 grand. So now when you're coming out of uni, you're owing how much?
I agree.
Almost 60 grand. Then hold on, then you come out of university, there's not enough jobs for everyone. So then you're trying to fight with these other jobs. Then you're black. So then, by default, it's harder for you to get that job than another person. Then you might be a black female, so then it's even more harder to get those jobs or fight with these people. This is what we're
but I agree with you to an extent. The blank statement about uni is a broad one. So they said the right unis will definitely help you, and they definitely are going to.
And how many of them are there?
But not obviously. If you go to
and how many people are in the
top
UK?
100 unis, if you go to uni 98 maybe, and you do a course that might not be that relevant, maybe you might not benefit as much as someone that goes
to...
do
you know what? Let's beg to differ on the uni thing, because like you said, there's so many people that can tell you uni was amazing for multiple reasons, and there's many people that can say don't rubbish it. Like,
I'm not going to rubbish it. It was an amazing experience.
No, there's so many other people that can say I've met people.
I'm grateful I went to uni.
But then there's people like yourself that say, okay, uni makes no sense, and this is the beauty of saying, that's your thought and opinion, and this is mine. And there's no reason why you're right or I'm wrong or vice versa.
All of this is opinions.
But going back to the initial point of structure, let's bring it back down to Black Pound Day. So on the face of it, we see, oh my God, the Asians have the Indian ownership, home ownership is through the roof. So on one hand, it's like, this is amazing. So that's the compromise
you're basically saying.
Yeah,
this is the compromise for financial stability.
This is amazing.
I don't want it then.
But then, as a collective then, if you're saying we choose freedom, I shouldn't have to have my mum suggest what to study in uni. I shouldn't be told when to get married. I shouldn't be told when to go to the mosque. I shouldn't be told these things. Sadly, those structural things as a collective with most societies is what allows a collective to be strong financially. Yeah. Now, if we want to have the freedom to do exactly what the fuck we want, we're never as a collective going to win. It's going to be pockets of success. It's you on the one hand, Stormzy on the other hand, football on the other hand, maybe a couple of entrepreneurs and whatever. But as a collective, because we have not made it almost hereditary and we haven't enforced it as a culture, we will never as a collective be strong.
That's it. I get you.
And I totally agree with the structure, because you're looking at it from such a kind of rigid way. Let's even take like an upper class or like wealthy middle class white man. They still follow that same structure. It may not be as rigid as that, but don't think when they leave uni or when they leave school, and so maybe they're not going to their dad, but don't think their dad's not a CEO at a music label, CEO at this bank or 100%. This firm, and they can't just go and get a job with that. And that's all built from the structure. Whereas we don't have that. Like you said, we're always starting, because we don't have that structure, we're always starting from square one again. So like you said, you might have what you've done, how you've kind of got into media, that's your particular journey. But if you don't give your children that basic structure, they're gonna have to be doing it all over again. So you haven't actually laid out, in a way, you kind of haven't laid out a foundation, because you haven't said to them, look, this is the business I'm doing. This is, you can come and work with me, or you should go get your education and see what's out there in the world. If you're not teaching them gems, then they're literally gonna get to like mid-20s or their 20s, be like a rabbit in the phone, and think, shit, what am I going to do? Where am I going to get to? What am I going to do? Like, you need to give them that structure, I think.
But do you know what else as well? I think, sorry to cut you, it's because like many people say, the majority of the community doesn't have generational wealth. Maybe one generation, your mum might have a yard, or your grand.
That's not even wealth.
But there you go.
There's no generational wealth.
You.
When we see a billionaire in Jay-Z or Oprah, that's the first generation of black wealth.
No. You don't have to be a billionaire to have generational wealth. Let's get rid of that. My grand might have 5 houses. It's still generational wealth.
Yeah, but I'm talking about real influence at the top. That's what I'm talking about. That you can bring and carry on for generations and generations.
But sadly, all of our billionaires don't want to have influence. So that, to me, that's null and void. You can still have, in terms of, so like you said, with me, power or influence is if you enter certain areas. So economics, import, export. legal, politics. You can still be Oprah, but if you don't want to get involved politically, you ain't got no power. You don't even want to have power.
Yeah.
So the whole, you have to be a billionaire.
No, but you do have, she does have power potentially in her field or industry, which is the entertainment industry.
But you said potentially. So the point
she does.
Yeah, but
She owns a
okay,
network.
so who would have more power? Someone who has, I don't know, a net worth of 2 million, but has decided to be the mayor of London or has decided to be the next PM or
They don't have no power. If we want to get deep into this, they don't have no power. The central
within our
banks have all the
generation,
power.
they do. Okay,
Who has all the power?
You see,
Central banks, because they
I
have all
don't
the
know.
money.
I don't agree with that.
That's on
I
a
don't
bigger
agree with
scale.
that.
So what are we talking about? Life, or are we just picking and
We're
choosing?
talking about from
Generation.
day-to-day
The
life.
conversation started with generational
Yeah.
wealth.
So what I'm saying to you is, right, like, it's like what Kanye West said in that interview before, right? You could have 50 million.
I think that's an easy cop out. That I used to think like that as well. It's the central banks with the Illuminati that have. There's no point.
Central banks ain't Illuminati.
No.
These are
I'm
people
saying
that actually,
lots of people that will say certain things in a group.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you said that. I'm
Yeah.
just saying central banks, and I don't dispute that for the entirety of the world. But for example, me being in Tottenham, majority ethnic minority. Yeah. If the majority of councillors were black, we do immediately, in terms of proximity, have power.
Yeah.
We may not have international power to control the central banks, but I think we have got reliant on this whole, the system ain't for us. We can't.
but what I'm saying is we need to get it at that level, though. We do need to get it at that level.
Yeah, but you don't
The high
go.
level owning corporations,
But
bro.
listen,
These are the people that lobby governments. These are the people that tell these people in power
Craig,
what to
you
do through
don't
money.
get there from being here. You were okay. So who's the new? Is it the CEO, the director of the FSA, the Financial Services Conduct Authority? Who's that?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's the Asian guy. He worked his way up. Now he's going to be seated at tables which include the central banks.
Yeah.
You don't just go, we've got no power. You need to. You can collectively start being in a mindset to, again, why loads of people say, we as a community are so reactionary. The system, the legislation, rare. But then I'm tired of people DMing me this, because I'll say to them, and I've said this for so long and it gets frustrating. Okay, so again, me being in Tottenham, I decide to go to all of my Labour meetings. I'm not even a Labour supporter, but I know that Labour controls my area. I want to be there at the meetings for the decisions. Now, there's been times
You and
where
David Lammy.
yeah, I do.
Don't.
So I will be at that meeting, okay, and there will be middle-class white people at that meeting. You're forgetting this is an area which is predominantly ethnic.
So they're the people
minority.
in the area that actually invested in those.
This is how it works. Local politics is, okay, so today we've been asked, because it will be presented to the NEC, conferences of the Labour Party, we need to put a motion on policing. We're at a loss here. What do we need to do to assist? Yeah, we can moan all the time, institutional racism, there's no point, blah, blah, blah. This is all I hear. Okay.
We need solutions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll say to the people that moan and are in my DMs, I posted several times 2 years ago to pull up to the meetings about policing. Were you there?
No, they weren't there.
Don't chat to me. No, it gets attitude like that. You'll get attitude because I'm tired. Now, if I release on my Twitter, my Instagram today, everybody pull up, DJs, drinks on tap, barbecue, what's going to happen?
It'd be packed.
So then it makes me think...
The man them just want to have a good time, man.
Fair enough.
Sometimes you
But
have
then
a
don't
good time.
complain. Don't complain.
Make it lighthearted a bit, man. We can't be serious
complain.
throughout the whole podcast, bro.
I
Man
know,
them
I
just
hear
want to have
that,
a
I hear
good
that.
time.
It's true.
It's
All the time, sometimes.
The man them just want to have a good time. Life's short, you know. Life's short.
Life's short, but when
Gotta have a good time
shit
sometimes. We
pops
all
off
have a
with the police, I
barbecue.
don't want to hear it. Roll with the punches then. I don't want to
Yeah.
hear about the system, because you're not here
Alright,
to change the
alright,
system.